Now the industry product to manufacture sugar is called sugar cane. Now sugar cane is a industry product. When demand is more and supply is less, what the seller need to do? He need to export his product. The industrial product, that too what? Consideration with technology. So technical consideration will always happen in the industry. Now sometimes the buyer will only become the seller and seller will become the buyer. That is what we call it as reciprocal buying. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I am Vidhyaashram from the Department of Business Studies in Vidhyaashram PU College, the Temple of Excellence. Now we are in the next session where we'll understand what exactly are the industrial product means. What is industrial product? Now industrial product means it is a raw material. Now you have engines, you have lubricants, you have so many other things which are the production's house inputs. That means whatever the production actually wants you people to get the finished goods, so that is what the raw material they acquire. We call that raw material as the industrial products. Now what is this industrial product? I'll tell you here. We have something called industry. Now what is this industry is all about? Now industries here means what? The raw material is converted. What is it? Is converted into finished goods, so that this finished goods will reach the consumer, right? Now understand, industrial product means we are talking about these things. These are the industrial product. So these are what? The industrial product. So industrial product are those products which are used as inputs. What are they? They are called the inputs. Now raw material is what? It's a input. And the finished goods is what? It's the output. Okay. Now the example of such product are raw materials, that is whichever the raw materials you can go with. Now you have types of industry. There are what? There are three types of industries, right? One is primary industry, next is secondary industry, and one more is tertiary industry. Now in the primary industry, what happens is the raw material is from Mother Earth, that is from the nature. Whatever we get, we call it as the raw material. Whichever we get from the nature, those raw material will get converted in the primary industry, and whatever the finished goods comes. Now understand, the finished goods of primary industry becomes the raw material of secondary industry, and whatever the outcome comes, now that goes to the consumer. So this is what the industrial product is all about. Now sugar, right? To manufacture sugar, what is the industry product? Now the industry product to manufacture sugar is called sugar cane. Now sugar cane is a industry product. Like that, there are many kind of things which you will get across in this session. Next one is the important characteristics of industrial product. What are the characteristics of industrial product? Now the first thing is number of buyers. You will get to know number of buyers. Next, what is the channel level? That where exactly it goes, from where to where actually it goes with a distribution channel. Next is geographic concentration. Industrial product, where exactly it is available, which part in India, which part in the world it is available. You will get to know that. Next is what is the demand or what is the supply of those industry things. You will get to know. That is all the characteristics of industrial product. Now technology, see, even role of technology, that is technical consideration is also important, because technology plays a very vital role in the industry products. Next is reciprocal buying. That means what? Now buying, you all know what is this reciprocal buying. A person whom you will sell, actually you will buy it from him. That is what we call it as reciprocal. The last one is leasing out. So these are the characteristics of industrial product. One by one we'll see what exactly the product is all about, what exactly the characteristics is all about, and why industrial product in many of the country it is very cheap, why it is very expensive. All these things we'll understand through marketing concepts. Now the first one is number of buyers. Now understand this number of buyers, what exactly it is. Whenever we go with the industrial product, okay, you need to know who is the buyer. Okay, and next question is why are they buying it, and next one is are they making profit. Okay, so these things you are supposed to understand. As compared to the consumer product, the number of buyers of industrial products are limited. What is it? The number of buyers are what? Limited. See, when they are limited, understand this concept. When they are limited, what will happen? For example, sugar cane is purchased by few producers of sugar, okay, but sugar which is consumed by the consumer is what? More. So understand, buyers are limited. Why they will actually buy? Because manufacturers are less. Manufacturers are less. But how is that they'll actually make profit? That is, when buyers are limited, that is the industrial product called sugar cane, right? But consumers are there, right? They actually use sugar more. So will they get profit? Definitely yes. So the profit ratio is what? It is more. Reason is the buyers are limited, manufacturers are limited, so consumers are more. So what will happen? You have a demand. And what is that you are doing as a manufacturer? You are supplying the need of the demand. So you will definitely make profit. So this is one of the characteristics where you will understand the number of buyer concept. Now, whenever you want to venture into any of the business, what is that you need to do? The first thing is, do you have competitors? Okay, do you have competitors? If yes, how much? If it is less than, that means what? You are the person who is the first person to actually enter to that place. That means undue advantage you can actually take. That is what happened with Bill Gates, Steve Jobs in those times. Now, when they started to manufacture computers, they were a gigantic company which used to manufacture personal computers. But what Microsoft did or Apple did was they started to cater the local people. Now, when they wanted to cater the local people, now their competition level was too high because IBM was already there, which was the best in whatever they used to do it. Now, the middle class family, they thought that we can't buy those computers, so let's go with Microsoft or Apple. Now understand what is the rate of Microsoft laptops and Apple laptops. Now understand, these are the things which you will actually learn. Next thing here, number of buyers. Again, those time Apple and Microsoft, the product which used to be the raw material was what? They went to even the very low class service providers, and they went and they took the services. Now where exactly the company is? Gigantic company. So industrial product will actually tell you about the number of buyers. Next is channel level. What exactly this channel level will happen, right? Now whenever we go with this channels, I'll tell you what it is. Understand this, right? Because of limited number of buyer, one thing is what? You have limited buyers, okay? The sale of industry product is generally made with the help of shorter channels. The less the channel is, that much money you will actually take. Now limited buyer are there. Now this is my industry, okay? Now I'll take the raw material from the farmer, okay? From the farmer I'll take the raw material. That means this is first channel, that is directly I'm taking the raw material from the farmer. Now I'll convert the thing. Now what is that I'll take? I'll take sugar cane from the farmers. I'll prepare all these. Now what is it? I have something called jaggery, or I'll manufacture sugar. Here you have jaggery, right? Now from jaggery we make sugar. That is what you are supposed to do. Now what is a channel? The channel is what? Only one level. What is it? One level. The minute I'm done with this sugar, what is that I'll do is I'll sell this to the retailer or the wholesaler. Now what is this channel? How much is the channel? It is only one level. What is it? It's only one level. After that, the retailer or the wholesaler, he will sell it to the consumer. So what we call this as, we call this as one level. The more the channel is, what happens is the profit ratio will come down. The lesser the channels is, that means I'll get more. So that is what industrial product we think about. Next one we'll go, that is geographical. What is it? Geographical concentration. This industrial products are what? Geographically it is concentrated. Where exactly it is there? Because of location of industries at certain points or region, industrial market are highly concentrated because of what? Geographically. What is this highly concentrated? Now after your LPG, liberalization, then P, privatization, and LPG, globalization. What has happened is, because of this globalization, everywhere, wherever you go, you have industries. Okay, and the industries are what? They are giving competition to each other. So what happens is, because of location of industries at certain points or region, everywhere, wherever they go, industrial market are highly concentrated. That means the industries now, they will go with any kind of bid amount because they want to manufacture. Now whatever the raw material is, that's why I say raw material is always called as variable. That means what? Because of more demand, everywhere you have the industries. Now the raw material is what? That's why I'll tell you what it is. Even our products, right, are exported as well as imported. The reason is what? Concentration of geographical nature. The next one here is derived demand. What is that derived demand? How is that they'll come to a conclusion that there is a demand or there is not a demand? As I told you about the geographical concentration, it's just a continuity of it. The demand for industrial product is derived from the demand for consumer products. Now understand, the more the consumers are using it, right, what happens is there is a demand. When there is a demand, what happens is, you need to know that the supply is always less. The supply will come down. Or it's a vice versa. Supply is less, that's why the demand is more. Or supply is more, then what will happen? Demand will be less. So this is what the general common sense of the geographical concentration. That means in every part of the world, wherever you go, if there is a demand, so somewhere there will be not a demand but supply will be more, so you are supposed to import it, right? When demand is more and supply is less, what the seller need to do? He need to export his product. So all these things are what? They are playing with the import as well as the export. Now how is that the marketing concept will help you to understand the derived demand? Understand, for example, right, demand for leather will be derived from what? Demand for shoes and other leather products in the market. Now understand, somewhere we'll go with, you all know a company called Bata, right? Now Bata is a company which was started by Thomas Bata, Antonio Bata and Anna Bata, right? So all these three were the cobblers, same family. Now Thomas Bata, he started Bata company in Switzerland, right? Which country? Switzerland. When they started with it, there was a demand for leather, but due to the First World War, the supply of leather wasn't properly being supplied to all the people. So what happened? They started to go with Batoki shoe. What type of a shoe? Batoki shoe. That means half leather, half textile. Now when they started with this half textile and half leather, many people thought that this is a new trend, this is a new fashion, and they started, see, with a small petty shop. When they started with manufacturing, that is making shoes, now where is this company has gone? It's what? It's a MNC company, multinational company, and everywhere in the across globe it is present. Now how is that? You will get to know derived demand. from a small shop in Switzerland. Now where are they? Because the reason is demand for shoes, or it is what? Demand for the product. So what is a industrial product here? Leather is the industrial product. Due to this leather being an industrial product, what happens is many animals are also killed because of the consumer. Understand this. Even what happened in the late 80s and early 90s, there was a huge demand for the tusk of elephant, the ivory, right? But later what happened, if you don't use it, if there is no demand, then what will happen is they'll not kill elephants, was what the Indian government they thought, and then they abolished, saying that there is no value at all for the ivory of the elephants. Then what happened, slowly the killing of ramping of the elephants came down due to demand derived. The next one here is role of technical consideration. Understand this here, technology is everywhere. With technology you can learn everything properly, and that too very fast. The first one here is technical consideration assumes greater significance in the purchase of industrial product, because these products are complex product bought for use of business operation. Now whatever happens in a business, the thing is what, you need to make it simple, okay? And due to this technical consideration, everything whichever is complex, it will be reduced to simple. So that's why many of the people, they go with what, the industrial product, that too what, consideration with technology. So technical consideration will always happen in the industry. I'll tell you, technical consideration assumes greater significance in the purchase of industrial product, because these products are complex products bought for the use of business operation. The minute it is complex, what is that they do? They'll simplify the concepts. Next one is reciprocal buying. Reciprocal buying. Some big companies from basic industries like oil, steel, rubber and medicines restored to the practice of reciprocal buying. For example, see Ashok Leyland, it's a truck manufacturing company, right? Truck manufacturing company may buy tire from the tubes of MRF. Now you have MRF. Understand here, trucks are buying something from the MRF. Now MRF will buy something from the trucks. We call that as reciprocal. You are helping me, I'll help you. We call that as reciprocal. It is actually like B2B concept, that is business to business. I'll give you one more example. Understand, you have car manufacturing companies, right? Say there are 3 car manufacturing companies. You have, let's take Maruti Suzuki, then let's take Hyundai, and we will take Fiat. Okay, now understand, Fiat is a company which manufactures engines as well as cars. But if you understand this, Hyundai takes engine from Fiat, and Maruti Suzuki takes engines from Fiat. So what is that they'll actually go with? They have their own kind of a dealing, reciprocal. What is it? Reciprocal. The same way here, I told you about the Ashok Leyland and MRF. You need to know MRF. Okay, MRF stands for Madras Rubber Factory. MRF is what? Madras Rubber Factory. Now Madras Rubber Factory, now they manufacture tires and tubes. Now why will they actually buy something from Ashok Leyland? To transport their goods and to provide services. What is that they need? They need trucks. So they'll buy from Ashok Leyland. They'll buy from Ashok Leyland. In the meantime, Ashok Leyland is the manufacturer of truck. Now for wheels, what is that they should do? They need tube as well as they need tire. Now where will they go? They'll actually go and they'll buy from MRF. So this we call it as buying and selling, selling and buying, the concept. Right here you can understand here, buyer, seller, seller, buyer. Now sometimes the buyer will only become the seller and seller will become the buyer. That is what we call it as reciprocal buying. Next one here is leasing out. What is the word? Leasing out. Leasing out. Okay, now leasing out means what? A growing trend in the industrial product market is to lease out rather than purchase the product on outright basis because of the heavy price of these products. So what exactly is the leasing out means? That means in a bulk, whenever I go and buy, what happens is in the industrial product, I need to have enough capital to purchase the thing. Now here they'll give me something called margin, right? I don't need to pay full. I'll go with what? Lease. I'll go with what? Lease. Only when I get the money from the, see, example here I'll tell you. We have a buyer and we have a seller. Okay. Now, when the seller gives the product and after he receives money from the buyer, he have money. Okay. Until then, he will not have. Understand? Now the industrial product, he'll take it from, that is a raw material, say 5,000 rupees. Okay. Now he need to pay to this person, right, 5,000 rupees, but he don't have. After everything, whenever he goes with it, now he'll charge 6,000 rupees. Now the minute this buyer will give him 6,000 rupees, later he'll go and pay. We call this as leasing out. What is it? Leasing out. Understand this. That means after the sale is all done, then afterwards you will give it. We call it as leasing out. In the industrial product, what happens is, because it is heavy price, it is what? You will not buy 1 kg or 2 kg. You will go with tons, quintals, right? Those kind of a thing. That's why we are supposed to go with leasing out. What exactly the leasing out is? Here you need to understand, a growing trend in industrial product market is to lease out rather than to purchase the product on outright. That is whatever the thing is outright. After once you go for a sale, after all those things, then when you will make a profit, after making profit you are supposed to give. Or if you are not making a profit, if you are making a loss also, you have stipulated time wherein you can go and always give the money to the person whom you have taken those industrial product. So these are the characteristics of industrial product. Hope you have understood. Now I'll tell you what it is. You are supposed to just read and then write and practice. Only then you will understand all the concepts, students. Thank you so much. Till then, I'll see you when I see you.